Good afternoon, race fans. Welcome to USA International Speedway. I'm Aaron Johnson with the Johnson iRacing team, bringing you today's feature event. It is the iRacing Advanced Legends Cup from USA International Speedway. Let's have a look at today's starting lineup. Starting in the tailback spot, car number 13, that's Brian Fitzichemi. In the 6th row, in car number 9, that'll be Michael Giglio. And in car number 5, Tyler Goodwin. Starting in the 5th row, it'll be the car number 1 of Alberto Ferrez and car number 4 of Jesse Maldonado. Starting in the 4th row, in car number 13, that will be Landon Adams. To Landon Adams outside will be the 6 of Noah Slazinski. In the 3rd row will be car number 8, Jean-Phillippe Chart, and number 3, AJ Ogle. Starting in the 2nd row, that'll be car number 12, Mark Yarnall, and to his outside, the 4 of Edwin Panasiewicz. And on the front row on the pole will be the 7 of Justin Shadden, and to his outside in car 00, that will be Jake Johnson. Scheduled for 40 laps here today in the iRacing Advanced Legends Cup. This is pre-level C, so this is when the cars were still in Class D. So it is open setup, but it is rookie level racing. Lights are off on the pace car. We expect the green flag at any moment. That's Shadden to the inside, Jake Johnson to his outside in the 00. Johnson, a member of the Johnson iRacing team. Pace car should be in at any moment. Shadden hammers the throttle. We are underway. Justin Shadden takes the lead over the 00 of Jake Johnson as they go down into turn number 1. It's Shadden out front, Johnson second. These two cars beginning to pull away from the rest of the field. Running in the 3rd spot is Mark Yarnall with Edwin Panasiewicz 4th and Jean-Phillippe Chart rounding out the top 5. Out front, it's the 7 of Justin Shadden. Jake Johnson following along about 2.5 car lengths back. Shadden beginning to stretch that lead out just a bit over the 00 of Johnson. Johnson trying to capture the first place position from the 7 of Shadden. Shadden maintaining that lead. As we jump back out to follow along with car number 7, Justin Shadden. Shadden pulling away slightly from Johnson. Johnson driving in deep. My goodness, how deep did Jacob Johnson drive that car into turn number 3? He closes on the 7 of Shadden. Johnson now a car length back. Looks like he's beginning to put some pressure on the 7 of Justin Shadden. Shadden out front, Johnson in the 2nd spot. Jake turning down low, now comes back to the outside. He's got a run on the high side on the 7 of Justin Shadden. Down into turn number 3 they go. Jake Johnson on the outside, Shadden on the inside. Johnson not able to hold that line. Shadden coming back on the inside line as they come past the start-finish line. It will be Shadden with the lead. We are 5 laps into a 40-lap event. Justin Shadden holding off the 00 of Johnson. Johnson looking high again, trying to get a run off of turn 2. Looks like he's got a great run down the back straightaway. Closing in on the 7 of Justin Shadden. Johnson now into turn number 3, backs off. Looks like he's trying to find a way to get around the 7 car. 7 running a great race. Nice line, holding the bottom side. Johnson looks the high side again. Past the start-finish line, Jake Johnson will lead lap number 6. Johnson trying to make the pass. Looks like he's got it done on the outside. Jake Johnson now pulling away and passing the 7 of Justin Shadden. Johnson showing up as car number 11 on your telemetry on the screen. That is the purple and gold 00 Cadbury car. Johnson now beginning to pull away from the 7 of Shadden. He's extended that lead to about 7 car lengths. We are 7 laps into a 40-lap event. Jake Johnson starting to pull away from the 7 of Justin Shadden. Johnson down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Jake running a nice smooth line, 2 wheels right down on the yellow line. The quick way around at USA International is to sweep deeply into the corners, come from up against the wall, right down onto that yellow line. If you can hook that apron and just hook that yellow line without getting the tires all the way out on the apron, you can be very quick here. Johnson putting on a clinic. He's opened up about a 1-second lead over the 7 of Justin Shadden. Jean-Phillippe Chart is in third. Mark Yarnall holds on to the 4th spot with Brian Pizzakimi in 5th. Behind them, it's Maldonado, Goodwin, Panisewicz, Giglio, and Ferez, the top 10. Jake Johnson with a very fast race car down the back straightaway. Looks like he's putting someone a lap down there. Couldn't tell who that was. That might have been the 13 of Landon Adams. Johnson through the center of 3 and 4. He is just driving away from the 7 of Justin Shadden. Jake Johnson with a very strong race car through the center of 1 and 2. Now out onto the back straightaway. Johnson, part of the Johnson iRacing team, looking for a victory here. Johnson with somewhere around 35 wins combined between super stocks and these Legends cars. Johnson now into turn number 1 has opened up a 2.5 second lead over the 7 of Justin Shadden. We're a quarter of the way through the race. At this pace, Johnson would win by about half a lap. Jake Johnson really putting on a clinic as he pulls away from the 7 of Justin Shadden. Mark Yarnall has moved into the 3rd spot. Pizzakimi now 4th, and Chart dropping back to 5th. Let's see how they run on the speedway. The next car on the speedway behind Jake Johnson is the 7 of Justin Shadden. Behind 7, the next car on the speedway would be car number 10, Brian Pizzakimi. Then behind Pizzakimi is the 12 of Mark Yarnall. The next car on the speedway is the 5 of Tyler Goodwin. Goodwin currently being shown in 6th. Then behind Goodwin, that's the 4 of Yesenia Maldonado. Behind Maldonado, the next car on the speedway is car number 1, Alberto Ferez. Ferez shown in the 9th spot. Then behind Ferez, that's the 8 of Jean-Phillippe Chart. Chart will be coming home in 8th now, and behind him, that's the 13 of Landon Adams. Adams currently shown in the 9th position. Behind Adams, the next car on the speedway is the 2 of Edwin Panisewicz. Edwin now in the 10th spot. Behind Edwin then, we've got the 3 of A.J. Ogle. Ogle in 11th. Behind Ogle in car number 6, that's Noah Slazinski. Slazinski in 12th, the last car on the lead lap. As we watch Slazinski look to the inside of the 3 of A.J. Ogle. Slazinski going to make that pass, it looks like. And just behind these 2 cars, we can see your leader. That is Jake Johnson in the flying 00. Johnson putting on a clinic as he's pulled out to a 4-second lead over the 7 of Justin Shadden. Johnson now trying to find his way past lap traffic. Backs off to let these 2 cars battle it out. Johnson being careful here, just touches the 3. I think he was worried about that. Johnson worried about someone getting sideways in front of him. Jake goes on past there as the 3 got sideways. Jake Johnson still out front. Disaster narrowly averted for that flying 00. Jake Johnson holding on to the lead. That cut about 2 seconds out of his lead. Johnson's lead now down to 3 seconds from about 4.5. Johnson closing in on the 6 of Noah Slazinski. Johnson looks to the high side. Slazinski stays down low. Johnson goes by on the outside. Looks like he will take that position. Johnson now moving into the 1st spot down the back straightaway. He'll be closing in on more lap traffic. I think Edwin Panisewicz will be the next car on the speedway that Jake Johnson will have to find a way to pass. Johnson closing in on the 2 of Edwin Panisewicz. Panisewicz in the red and black Legends car. Jake Johnson closing. He's only about 6 car lengths back of Panisewicz. We're 2 laps from the halfway point. Jake Johnson beginning to put cars down. Only 10 cars remaining on the lead lap as Johnson closes on the 2 of Panisewicz. Panisewicz gives Johnson plenty of room. Johnson goes by on the inside. Edwin doing a nice job there, a gentleman driver on the speedway. We are on lap 19 of 40. Jake Johnson with the lead. Down the back straightaway in that purple and gold Cadbury Legends car. Johnson into turn number 3. Goes past the 13. That's Landon Adams. Adams now a lap down. Looked like Adams had some trouble there. Jake Johnson down the front straightaway. 8 cars remain on the lead lap. Johnson about 4 seconds ahead of Justin Shadden. Down the back straightaway, that is the 00. Johnson trying to close in on Jean-Phillippe Chart in the 8th spot. That would be the next car on the speedway for Johnson. Chart not quite in view. Jake Johnson, we can see Jean-Phillippe just ahead of Johnson there. Johnson out of turn 2 onto the back straightaway. That 00 Legends car very quick today at USA International Speedway. Johnson closing rapidly on lap traffic. We'll stay right here with the leader as the leader begins to close on some lap traffic here on the speedway. Johnson down the back straightaway, holding on to the lead. Jake Johnson doing his best to run a smooth race. Very quick car. Avoided a little trouble when there was some contact between the 6 and the 3. Johnson now closing in. On lap traffic, we'll try to figure out who that is that Johnson is closing in on momentarily. We can see Jake now has pulled out to a nearly 6-second lead over the second place car of Justin Shadden. That looks like the 9 of Michael Giglio. Giglio currently 4 laps down in the 13th spot. Johnson closing in on Michael Giglio. Johnson now down the back straightaway. We can see he's reeled in the 9 of Giglio. Johnson getting ready to put Giglio a 5th lap down. Jake looks to the high side. Lets the car rotate through the center of the corner. Tries to get a run on the 9 of Michael Giglio. Jake out for a Sunday drive at USA International Speedway. We are just past halfway. Johnson closing in now also on the 8 of Jean-Phillippe Chart. Johnson down the back straightaway. Looks to the high side. The 9 looks to the low side of Chart in the 8. Johnson following these two drivers, trying to give them a little bit of room, let them battle this out on the speedway. Johnson now turning down low to try to get underneath the 8 of Chart. He does so. Now looks to the inside of the 9 of Giglio. Johnson will put Giglio a lap down as well and closes in on more traffic. Jake Johnson out of turn 2 onto the back straightaway is closing in onto more lap traffic here. We've got 15 laps to go. Johnson with a 6-second advantage, now nearly 7-second advantage over Justin Shadden. Johnson closing out on the 1 of Alberto Fares and the 3 of A.J. Ogle. It'll be interesting to see if Ogle tries to get even with Johnson here. He does. Drives down, tries to wreck Johnson. Johnson had nothing to do with that earlier crash as the 3 got turned around sideways by the 6. Had nothing to do with the 00. So the 3 of Ogle all over Jake Johnson trying to mess up the race here. Terrible sportsmanship. I'll call out A.J. Ogle every time over that. That was just a bad sportsmanship on the part of car number 3. Johnson makes his way past the 3 of Ogle. There are 5 cars on the lead lap. Let's look at how they run on the speedway. Behind Johnson, that is the 3 of A.J. Ogle. Then behind Ogle, it's the 8 of Jean-Phillippe Chart. Chart currently shown in the 6th spot. Ogle running 10th, 2 laps down. Behind Ogle, that's the 9 of Giglio, 6 laps down. Behind Giglio, the 1 of Alberto Fares in 7th, 1 lap down. Behind Fares, the next car on the speedway is the 2nd place runner. That's Justin Shadden in car number 7. Behind Shadden in car number 10, that is the 3rd place runner of Brian Pizzichimi. These 2 cars racing for position. Let's watch this battle between the 10 of Pizzichimi and the 7 of Justin Shadden. Pizzichimi got a car that rotates in the middle of the corner pretty well. Looks down on the inside. Shadden really throws a hard block, cuts that car off hard to try to keep the 10 from getting a run. Justin Shadden really throws a hard block on the 10 of Brian Pizzichimi. Pizzichimi now puts a bumper to him, spins him around, uses the chrome horn to get past the 7. Nope allows the 7 to get going again. Behind them, that's the 6 of Noah Slasinski. He goes past both cars. We also see the 12 of Mark Yarnall. Yarnall will now move into the 2nd spot by virtue of Shadden and Pizzichimi driving all over each other. That will put Mark Yarnall in 2nd. Sorry, Yarnall in 3rd. As we watch the 4 here, that is Yesenia Maldonado, the last car on the lead lap. Behind Maldonado, the next car on the speedway is car number 2, Edwin Panisewicz, 4 laps down in 11th. Then behind Panisewicz, we're back to the flying 00 of Jake Johnson. Johnson with a 13-second lead over Justin Shadden. 9 laps to go in this race. Jake Johnson holds on to a big lead. Johnson has lapped all of the field with the exception of 5 cars. 5 cars remain on the lead lap. Those cars are Johnson, Shadden, Mark Yarnall, Brian Pizzacchini, and Yesenia Maldonado. Maldonado, the last car on the lead lap, running in 5th spot. Johnson down the back straightaway now into turn number 3. Lets that car roll through the center of 3 and 4. Very nice line. Johnson off of 4 onto the front stretch. Past the start-finish line, there are 7 to go this time by. Johnson cruising to a big win. He now has about a 13-second advantage over car number 2. Sorry, a 15-second advantage over car number 2 of Justin Shadden. Jake Johnson off the turn, 6 laps to go. Down the front straight into turn number 1. Johnson trying to close on Yesenia Maldonado. Can just see Maldonado ahead of them. Also could see the 2 of Edwin Panisewicz. Justin Shadden 15 seconds back of the 0-0 of Jake Johnson as we watch Johnson come out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. There will be 5 to go this time by. Johnson with the lead. Shadden in the 2nd spot. Pizzacchini 3rd, Yarnall 4th, and Yesenia Maldonado running in the 5th spot. Jake Johnson, the Cadbury Legends car, member of the Johnson iRacing team, doing a nice job here. A nice, smooth, quick race car, smooth line. Johnson has had a couple of adventures with lap traffic, both of them with the same car, one of them blaming Johnson when Johnson was really an innocent bystander, an attempt to crash Johnson on purpose by the 3 of A.J. Ogle. Johnson through the center of 3 and 4. He'll come out of 4, closing in now on car number 4. That is Yesenia Maldonado. 3 laps to go this time by. Johnson closes on lap traffic. Maldonado's car looks a bit loose coming into the corner there. Looks like Maldonado maybe is fighting that car just a bit as Johnson closes down the back straightaway. Jake Johnson now into turn number 3. Rolls through the center of 3 and 4, trying to find his way around Maldonado. Maldonado stays down low, lets Johnson have the high line. Jake Johnson on the outside, trying to find his way around the 4 of Yesenia Maldonado. Johnson off of turn 2 down the back straightaway. There are 2 laps to go. Johnson putting Maldonado a lap down. That will leave 4 cars on the lead lap. Johnson into turn 3, through the center of 3 and 4 and out onto the front stretch. Johnson will take the white flag at this time by. He's closing on the 6 of Noah Slazinski. Johnson into turn number 1 for the final time. Will roll through the center of that corner, back out onto the back straightaway. Johnson closing rapidly on the 6 of Noah Slazinski. Johnson now into turn number 3. That purple and gold Legends car through the center of 3 and 4, now out onto the front straightaway. Jake Johnson's going to take home the victory here. It'll be Johnson with the win. Looks like Justin Shadden will come home in the 2nd spot, with Brian Pizzacchini 3rd, Mark Yarnall coming home 4th, Yesenia Maldonado 5th, Jean-Phillippe Chart in 6th, Alberto Ferrez 7th, Landon Adams 8th, Noah Slasinski 9th, and A.J. Ogle rounding out the top 10. Well, that will do it for the feature race from USA International Speedway. For the Johnson iRacing team on the Johnson iRacing Network, this is Aaron Johnson saying, go fast, turn left, have fun.